Rockefeller. I was always doing rockwear, making movies, doing music. I was always doing a lot of things. I don't know how to not do a lot of things. And I like these clothes better than rockwear, right? I like my music right now better than what was going on at Rockefeller because I'm involved. I'm liking the movies I'm making in the future better because I can do what I want to do. And that's the reason why I approach things like this.
How you felt when you made your first 100K in the streets, Dame?
I can't remember. I was a child.
That's what it says right there.
I didn't even hit puberty yet.
Damn, that's crazy.
I didn't know how to feel. It was normal. You know, I never got to be an adult without doing things at a professional level. You know, I went right from hustling into the music business. And I did that as a teenager. So I'm like Gary Coleman. I've been doing this since I was a kid. So, you know, I don't remember first 100.
I ain't gonna talk about this. I'm just gonna be paid $2.
Honestly, I don't even remember my first million.
Yeah. Oh,
it was so many millions ago.
Oh God, have mercy. Yeah, you was getting that bread. I was there.
What you mean was, bro?
No, you still did.
Listen, this is what I want you to understand. Listen,
I'm the biggest fan, baby.
I know I'm not. Look, I'm not offended. I just want you to be clear.
All right, go ahead.
Before, when I made money, I could spend it. Now, when I make money, I have to put it back into a business. That's the only difference.
Okay.
And until I don't have to take that money that I made and put it back to the business, I consider myself broke because I got to keep bleeding no matter what. Until I'm not bleeding, I'm broke. And that's business broke, not, regular people broke. That's all. I just want you to know the difference.
Yeah, that's just a joke. You said PD said you try to get him drunk to stay. Shout out to PD Crack, man. I love him. He's a good friend of mine. Can't wait to interview him, man.
You said PD, but PD what?
They said PD said you'll try to get him drunk to stay with you instead of going to Def Jam. I want Jay-Z to stay with you, man. You know what I mean? This is a joke. They're just doing a joke. Ain't no big
deal. So why you repeat a 20-ass joke that nobody understands?
Super corny, I know, but if he paid them, I had you. Because he paid them, he paid. I got you.
Matt, you know what you should do?
Yeah.
You should make a cast of your face and make cookies with it. Just dip it in some dough and make Bigface Gary chocolate chip cookies. Pause.
Oh, God, it's not here. All right.
I bet you that would be good. Your face look like a big cookie.
All right. I'm working right now, y'all. You ain't going to believe me. I got my job. Hey, Mr. Dame Dash, just write a tell-all book, do a tour about the book, then never talk about Homeboy again. I dislike seeing people asking you about their Homeboy. Already asking me about that. I agree with that, though. People ask me that. I told people, they think I'm always defending you, Dame. You ask what they ask you have to defend yourself. But you don't want to talk about Homeboy no more. It is what it is, man.
I talk about what we were doing at Rockefeller, and he's a part of it. I talk about you. I talk about Kanye. I talk about Freeway. It's a part of my history, So the reason why I think that narrative has been pushed is so I won't talk about the truth because the truth makes me look like a superhero and other people not. That's all. But I ain't tripping about that. Don't worry about it. I definitely do a tell-all book. I'm doing that. The only purpose of putting a book out is the tour. Doing that, there'll be a soundtrack, a movie, and a doc that come with it. All that's going to happen. And a clothing line. You know what I mean?
Then they just ask.
I want to know, Bigface, why don't you do a story about your life?
I am.
A book about your life.
That's on my vertical this year.
A doc about your life. But if you notice, I'm not putting my face on a logo for men to wear. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get a different logo. That's one logo, but you gotta get like the BFA, like a BF or something.
Yeah, you just said that. I just had a good question. You threw me off, but thank you. That's a good idea. Very good idea, actually. You just threw me off. Damn, it'll come back to me.
You were thinking?
I always think, damn, you know that.
Why you forget? You always forget?
I don't forget. There's something I was to ask you, then they went up. I'll come back. Hold on, let me look at my notes. My son else wanted to ask you. Oh, there you go. A lot of people think you're blackballed, Dame. Like you can't get no money in the industry. They just
blackballed from selling nickels.
So you had to go. They feel that you had to go do your own shit. You had no choice. You can't get no money no other way. Explain that to the people. Yeah, go ahead, my bro. Go. Let's go.
I'm about to tell you. The people that say that, you have to understand, I was never in a position to be hired ever. I've always been at a position of doing the hiring. I left that industry. Yes, 100%. If it was me being dependent on being hired, I'd be blackballed. But if that was the case, I was blackballed before. No one would hire me before I did it myself with Rockefeller. So you got to remember, we did Rockefeller on our own and then got partners, but we started on our own. That's the only model that works with me. But y'all got to also remember, I don't want to work with a bunch of stink breath, demon smelling, bad breath motherfuckers no more. I don't want to be around those people because what I'm doing is more at an artist level. I'm just doing the business for me. See, what people don't understand is I was making money off other people before. Now I make money off me. It's a different business model. I went from being a manager to being the artist.
So what you did was, then, you when you were doing all the music with Def Jam, everything, you're doing the same thing, but you're your own boss. You, Rocky, your family,
and I'm doing it for me.
For you.
Before I was doing it for other people that didn't appreciate it, about 10. Now, the only people I'm working for or with is for me, my family, or my loyal friends. And that's my circle. Before I had to make money for strangers. Now I make money for family.
Okay. Because I told him you're not blackballed. You're okay. You're very fine.
Blackballed is.
I could be blackballed. You do BET.
All right, let me say this.
All right.
Trump is blackballed.
Who?
Trump. But he's the president. Won't nobody hire Trump. But because he runs his own stuff, nobody can turn his lights out. I'm not saying I'm a big Trump fan. I'm just giving an example of someone that no one would hire that just makes it where they hire themselves. So he had no choice but to run for president. And I didn't think he was going to win, but he did. Yeah, and that's what saved him. But it took someone to have that kind of courage to go ahead and think they could do it and go do it.
You're right. I don't know how he pulled it. He pulled it
all
off.
These billionaires that if you can't be a billionaire if another company, if they stop working with you, you're not a billionaire no more. That you can't. Billionaires shouldn't have bosses.
Would have been able to come and split that. Okay, here you go. On an interview, they said Leo recently said on a Vlad interview that if Jay and Dane were a real team, no one would have been able to come and split that up. He never directly said he was responsible, but it gave did. How does Dane feel about Leo insinuating Dame and Jay were never really a team?
He's right.
Yeah, I agree. Because they wouldn't have.
I thought we were. What you got to remember? I want you to understand.